All right, welcome to this week's Help Desk with Joe, and as always, Joe! We're here, and we got good stuff to talk about. Past couple weeks, you've talked to people about how to protect themselves, to watch out for the scams. The Netflix scam was last week and so forth, so kind of doing your duty of helping people out. So,
trying the best I can.
There you go. We like it. And this week, we're going to talk a little bit, we're going back to the transfer from Apple products to Android,
right.
iPhone, I guess,
right.
to an Android phone, which you've recently made the switch.
Yes.
And as we were talking earlier, you're a house divided.
Yes.
You have the Android, Cena has the iPhone, and you guys are keeping current on both systems.
Yes, so it actually works out well for us.
Yeah, so that really is. At first, I was making fun of both of you because you're split on that issue, but really it makes sense. As a technology guy, you really need to be on both ends.
Right.
And that helps out a lot. All right, well, talk to us a little bit about today's topic.
Okay, today's topic is transferring your contact list, which is the most critical part of your phone.
You got to be able to get a hold of people.
Exactly. Or them get a hold of you and you're trying to figure out, okay, do I need to answer to them or just ignore them?
Is this a scam or is this somebody I know?
Right.
Yeah.
Transfer them over from iPhone to Android.
Okay, and then if you're like me, you don't know anybody's number. It's
right.
always their name, and you put it in your phone, and you don't I wouldn't even know what area code you are, Joe. It just comes up as Joe. How do you start that process? Like, I'm assuming we're talking about somebody that walks in off the street and says, okay, I'm switching, and they won't do it for you at the store, or is that something you need to worry about? Or
well, it depends on your carrier. I mean, some carriers, if you buy that new phone from that carrier, they'll say, bring your old phone in, and they'll actually work with you. And I know Verizon, and I'm sure AT&T is the same way, you have capability through your account through them that you can actually back up your contacts through their program. But, in this case with iPhone, you can use Verizon's or your carrier's backup if they have that option, or you can just use iTunes or some of those solutions we talk about.
Okay, well, let's talk about that then. You can't get it through the carrier. You go to for me, it'd be the AT&T store.
Right.
And I get my new phone. They can't do it, or I'm in too big of a hurry, and I just grab the phone and go, whatever reason comes up.
Right.
Where do we go from there?
Okay.
I want to transfer my contacts. I'm lost.
Okay. The first thing you could do is use iTunes.
Okay.
And that's the program that if you're an iPhone user, you are already familiar with it for the most part.
Right.
You plug in your phone to the computer, and then you open up iTunes. So this first image we have here, this is just your basic your iTunes screen. And the red arrow up in the top right-hand corner there is iPhone. It's showing that your computer and iTunes has detected your phone's connected to the computer.
Okay.
So you click that.
I like the red arrow.
Makes it a little easier.
It does.
So then you click your iPhone, and this is the screen you see. It'll start out at the summary window. You click that next tab over where the up arrow is, and it says Info.
Yep.
And then from there, it has Sync Contacts.
Nice.
And then with Android, everything runs through Google, so the easiest thing would be to export it through Gmail.
Okay.
So you can hit Sync Contacts, and when my phone was set up, I wasn't able to do that just right. I had different settings on mine that I didn't have my Gmail set up on there. But if you had Gmail set up, you could sync your contacts. All might go straight to Gmail. Okay,
so that might be important, though. If you have to go this route, get you a Gmail account and get it ready.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because Android runs off of Gmail, so you have to have a Gmail account for your phone to work.
All right, so go ahead and get that Gmail account and be prepared to do this.
And then once you tell it to sync, it'll be a little time late, transferring everything over to Google. But once that's ready, you activate your phone, your contacts are there.
Okay.
Plus, the nice part of it is if you lose your phone, it's actually on Google instead of stored locally on your phone. So you're not truly going to lose your contacts unless you cancel your account or something happens to your account.
Right. Okay. And then, do we go to the next image?
No, actually, that's our next.
Okay, sorry. I'm getting ahead. I saw it there and I liked it. So let's go look at it now. Got jumpy. Okay. So go into your iTunes. Follow those easy steps. Watch this video while you're doing it. Have your Gmail account ready.
Right.
Export it out, and you're good to go.
Right.
Okay. Option number 2.
Option number 2 is if you already have your account set up through iCloud, which is Apple's answer to Gmail, backing up to online storage.
Right.
You can log into your iCloud account. Just go to iCloud.com, use your iTunes login, and you'll actually go to this page and and you'll have your buttons. It says Contacts and several others. You click your Contacts tab. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a gear there that says Export CSV, I think it's CSV, Common Separated Values.
Export, I can't read it.
Yeah, I think it's Export CSV. And what that does is it exports all of your email addresses into one file.
Okay.
So once you get that file downloaded to your computer, You log into Gmail and import that file to the address book, and there's all of your addresses and your contact information.
That seems pretty easy, really. From the old days, I used to have to, get a new phone, sit there, and go between the two phones.
Yeah, spend 2 days transferring everything over.
Yeah, I didn't have that many contacts, an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So I see there are two different ways. iTunes, if you're familiar with it. If you're not, and you're starting over either way, or you don't care, iCloud.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you got to go through your Gmail.
Yeah,
for the most
either
part,
way,
so
you've got to work
that's
through.
the direction you're going.
Yeah, either way, you've got to work with Apple to get your stuff over to Google.
Okay, if you had a preference, let's assume, I assume you have both iTunes and you're familiar with the iCloud. If you had a preference, which one would you tell someone that's in this boat and says, I'm not real sure about either one, which preference would you go with?
Well, there are other apps, there's third-party apps out there that you can work with that are available, but for me personally, I'd like to keep as few hands involved in it as possible. You have these apps, I'm sure that for Apple and iTunes to verify them that they have to be secure, but that's just an extra set of hands in my information that I don't want. So there's third-party apps out there that make it a lot easier, but with this, I would say go through the iCloud. That way, make sure your contacts are backed up there to begin with.
Right, because that's where you're going anyway.
Right.
You're going to the iCloud system.
So make sure they're backed up there, and then just export and import that file.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else, like, if the average person comes to you and says, Joe, I'm getting ready to switch, what do I need to know, other than obviously start a Gmail account?
Right.
And prepare yourself for that. Is there anything else they need to know?
Make sure you got a good backup. If you're unsure about the way your contacts are being stored right now, just go to iCloud.com, log in with your username and password, and that'll give you an idea. If you log in there and say, okay, I don't have any contacts there, that'll give you an idea that you at least need to make a backup in case during the transfer something fails, you've got a backup copy.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. Anything else we need to know?
Just be careful and best of luck to you.
Don't throw your phone in the water.
Yeah, actually, this is pretty seamless. I mean, it seems like a big thing, but like you said, it's a lot easier nowadays than it used to be.
And as we showed with the three photos, simple steps.
Right.
Not too bad at all. Someone could watch this and walk right through it.
Yeah, just take your time. That's the thing with a lot of people. Well, I want it done right now, and they think it won't take but 15 minutes. Well, then they get in a hurry and start unplugging and turning stuff off, and then they go, well, I lost everything.
That's a good question. How long should someone plan to do this? Like, what should they expect time-wise?
Well, if you're not real tech savvy, for me, it wouldn't take very long. But if you're not tech savvy, plan a couple hours. You might find it only takes you 30 minutes, but don't be in a rush. Say, I need this done now, and then try to run through it wide open.
So the average person that has a little bit of knowledge but is not familiar with it, plan for an hour to swap it over. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty good. If someone like me says, Joe, I just don't want to do it, I want you to do it, how do they get a hold of you?
You can give us a call at our offices at 304-927-3588 or check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com or be like Dave and follow us on Facebook.
I like the Facebook option. I can send you messages. I see the daily specials, daily deals. It's awesome. So, and remember, A&M Digital Technologies sponsoring our Spencer Elementary basketball fitness program.
Yes.
So sponsoring local events, taking care of our kids as well.
For the second year in a row, which we're real excited to do.
It is. It's awesome. We passed out the shirts last week, and the kids love it. It's crazy. But yeah, support your local businesses here in Roane County local. Joe and Cena McDonald's, A&M Digital Technologies. When you have any technology needs, questions, shoot you a message, and get your question on there, and you guys give them free stuff out.
Yeah, we've actually got a comment on one of our YouTube videos with me and Zach. Sorry, Dave. Apparently the audience likes Zach better. But
Zach gets all the credit.
But actually, we're going to answer that question in a future show, so we'll actually be sending that user something free.
Okay. We'll go back through our old shows. I know we're got a lot of shows under our...
We're getting close to 50.
Under our belt now, yeah. And closing in on the big 50.
Yeah.
All right. Go back through, and again, if you have any questions, contact A&M Digital Technology, who takes care of all our hosting, our podcasts, all our shows
channels,
across the board.
everything.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Joe. I really appreciate it. Again, helping people be more efficient, do a better job with what they are doing, and as always, protecting them from the stuff that's out there. So.
Right.
All right, good deal. We'll see you next week, and this is Joe, and of course we got Cena behind the scenes. Haven't said hi to her for a couple of shows, and we'll be back next week with more stuff. Sponsored and hosted by A&M Digital Technologies.
Thank you.